Playing the disclaimer in 3, 2, 1.
Viewer discretion is advised. This podcast is intended for audiences 18 and over and is absolutely not for the easily offended. Strong language, strong opinions, and questionable life choices ahead. The views expressed on this podcast do not reflect the views of the Nerdport Network. Probably, we assume.
Yeah, well, we can assume everything we can because every year we gather around a screen, watch millions of people play a children's game while spending several millions of dollars selling us soda, shaving cream, and whatever, something cleaning and something that's inside the Epstein files.
This is the only show that can go from singing pubic hair in a Manscaped commercial to sealed court documents about the most connected predator in modern history without missing a beat.
And this is Season 1, Episode 1 of This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things.
The running paces, eyes on the clock, a ticket bomb ready to shock. Stuck got dodge, chaos let loose, total less, no more excuse. Doesn't much posse hits the floor, pure jump begging for more. Break the glass, tear it down, smash the room and wreck the town. Look at the mess the ruin brings, this is why we can't have nice things. Seconds, pure heat, fast drums, heavy beat, burn the wood, stay warm, face the center of the storm, break the glass and tear it down, smash the room and wreck the town, look at the mess the ruin brings, this is why we can't have nice, watch the smoke, see the fire, take the wreckage even higher, this is why we can't have nice things.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Season 1 of Episode 1 of This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. I am your host, Stephen Ronnie, and with me, as always,
Captain Stuntcock, your chaos coordinator.
oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to the show, welcome. This is where we dive into the train wreck from anywhere from entertainment to sports and pop culture. And boy, where do we begin? Because we had the Super Bowl to the Epstein files. Because God forbid, there's a lot of shit to unpack in the last week.
There has been a lot of shit to unpack, yes. I agree, 100.
And let's just unpack it. Let's not even waste any fucking time. Just jump right into the entertainment section, and we had a Super Bowl.
I mean, we had a great Super Bowl. It was a defensive game, and everybody's bitching about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the same time, too. But at the same time, you just don't bitch about the Super Bowl because it's not the only thing that people watch. More money gets passed around in that game for anything, but also close to $7 million per 30 seconds of commercials. And let's dive into how bad or good these were.
All right, we start with the best of the best or the worst of the worst.
Let's start with the best of the best. And nothing can be sacred anymore because, God forbid, half of these ones already got leaked way before the Super Bowl even dropped. Like the Pepsi Zero one.
Oh, yeah, they might be looking at a little lawsuit from Coca-Cola over that one.
I don't think there's going to get a lawsuit, but expect Coca-Cola to answer back.
Those are very, very clearly the Coca-Cola polar bears.
Well, there's actually 3 things that they did. That was a shot of Coke. One,
The Pepsi?
clear as day, was the Pepsi challenge. The Bears picking Pepsi, like the iconic Coca-Cola polar bears, picking Pepsi is one.
Yes.
The other one that not many people know, unless you actually like pay attention, was the fact that they used Queen, I Want to Break Free.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
So, for years, Coke has used Queen as their marketing campaign for Coke Zero, Coke 2, anything that was supposed to be a break from the norm. Coca-Cola always used I Want to Break Free.
Okay.
So for them to put that, it's a subtle shot at Coke, but
I
it's
don't think that one's a shot at Coke at all. They optioned the same music for the commercial.
but it's
It happened all the
but
I
Coca-Cola's
think
known for that. That's the thing. They're known for using that song.
and Queen is known for that. Well, I think that one's a little bit of a reach.
I don't.
I think that
I think
a little
that
bit.
is a subtlety because you could pick any other song and they choose that song that Coca-Cola has used for
Correct.
decades.
They chose that song because the stars of their commercial were the Coca-Cola Bears breaking free of Coca-Cola products. I want to break free. It's not a jab. It's a song that went with the commercial. Okay, so Coke used it too. That doesn't mean fucking Pepsi can't option it and use it.
I'm just saying Coca-Cola has used it for a lot of shit, and it's just it's subtle, but it's something that if you don't pay attention to it, you'll miss it.
I think on that one we're bordering on the conspiracy theory. There is no the shot was there was no subtle shot. It was a very clear jab to the face of Coca-Cola. We stole your mascot. That's the shot. The music, nothing to fucking do with.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. But then they go after Coldplay, and that's not a shot at Coke. That's just a dig at the freaking affair one. The fucking the people at the Coldplay show. What is it? The Levi backstories.
Oh yeah, that one was cool. That was a simple one.
Yep. Google Gemini.
That one was cool. That one was designed for emotional response, and I think it succeeded.
TurboTax. I think
Did they
that
do
one.
it?
I think that went a little bit too long, but it was still funny.
It was funny. I think that might have been one of the funnier ones this year.
And the one that a lot of people will say that it's not. So it's two things. It was a great commercial, but it was full-blown damage control. And that's Budweiser.
I don't know if we can say it's damage control.
Okay, let me rephrase that. It possibly is damage control after the backlash that's happened to them over the last couple years. It wouldn't surprise me if this was damage control.
Yeah, I don't see it as damage control because I'm from the area where the Anheuser-Busch bottling factory and plant is at, and there has been no real backlash except for online.
But I mean,
That
worldwide, you're literally playing Freebird with with a bald eagle and a Clydesdale.
well, even though AB InBev is a German company, I mean,
Oh yeah, well,
Anheuser-Busch is genuinely American.
right.
They always use the Clydesdales.
Clydesdale, the Dalmatian. And then, I don't know, what was your thoughts on the Bud Light one?
I don't remember the Bud Light one.
It was the keg roll. It was the keg rolling down a hill with Whitney Houston playing in the background.
Good fun of the cheese run.
Yes, they're making fun of the cheese run.
Yeah, that was all right.
And then we get to the worst. The vodka one, shake your bottle off.
Yeah, that one was fucking weird. The Backstreet Boy Coinbase.
Yep.
Fucking karaoke disaster piece.
The Ritz shell phone or shell phone.
That's just Ritz pretending to be innovative.
Yeah. AI. AI.com, an AI agent, but there is another one that has.
I don't.
I
That one confused.
I don't remember that one as much. I'll give you one though. And this is going to the just disturbing, that actually caught a decent amount of backlash from people on Instagram, from the internet community. So TikTok and shit like that.
Oh, Manscaped.
No, we'll get to Manscaped because that didn't actually get the people's attention as much as the Ring commercial.
I don't remember that one.
So it was very simple. Ring doorbell did a commercial where a girl loses her dog. Okay, very simple. AI now Ring you can log in if they put out an alert that they lost a dog, that they can go on any Ring camera to find this dog. Well, the conspiracy people decided to jump through and say that this is not good.
It's not. It allows people to spy.
And that is what has been catching everybody's reaction. That is what everyone's been saying on TikTok, and it's like they're putting out their own videos on YouTube that it's
What's to stop some dude?
And what you're about to say is exactly the point.
What's to stop some dude from saying that he lost his dog, gaining access to every Ring doorbell in the neighborhood, and stalking his ex-girlfriend?
You're not whistling it. I'm just saying that is the one commercial that seems to be on everyone's button. That has been the one thing that everyone's been like saying, "Oh, well, this is not a good thing. Why are they doing this?" Like, and they're not wrong. And you know people are going to say, "Oh, well, do they trust this?" I'm like, it is what it is. Like, this is not a surprise that we're getting this reaction. But
Right.
But then we get into the what the fuck were they thinking spending $7 million on Manscaped?
Singing clumps of pubes.
I mean, we go from Tide and their stains to stains in the drain.
Gross.
Yeah. But, you know.
That was a fucked up commercial.
Yeah, were there any other ones where you just kind of looked at it and went, besides the movie ones, because those are on a different level on their own. I'm just talking about product placement. Is there any other ones that you saw that you were like, huh, yeah, that made no sense to me?
Negative, sir.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. I mean, they weren't bad halftime commercials or Super Bowl commercials. But at the same time, we did have 2 halftime shows this year.
Yeah, and I tuned into both.
So, all right, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with Cock Rock or Lip Sync Battle or Kid and Play, I don't know how to sing? Or Bad, I'm going to do a Canadian Destroyer Bunny?
Let's start with Bad Bunny. That was the better show.
Okay. So actually, there is one other thing that I will say that a lot of people have been complaining about with Bad Bunny, and it actually had to do with people that were in the stands. If they were at the Super Bowl, you did not see the halftime show because you couldn't see over the grass.
Hey, those were people, by the way.
Yes. Which, God bless the NFL and Bad Bunny for giving more people work. But
Yep.
if you pay, like, just think about that for a second. You paid all that money for those seats. The halftime show usually comes with it, and you couldn't see. You saw maybe, what, an eighth of the halftime show when he was on the roof and Lady Gaga and anybody else? That was it?
So the fact of the matter is, the halftime show's not really for the people that are there.
No, it
It's
isn't for the
watching
audience.
it. So they couldn't see it? Boo fucking who? I thought you bought Super Bowl tickets, not halftime show tickets.
Yeah. I will say this. So me and you have talked about this. Bad Bunny had a great theatrical performance.
Oh,
Now-
that was a great.
Now, I'm going to say this. The only critique I have of this performance is not even him. It had everything to do with the audio being too low on Bad Bunny and Lady Gaga.
That's fair.
His audio was too low where you couldn't understand what he was saying. Granted, too, you had brass and percussion instruments behind him that were drowning him out. There's nothing you can really do about that because percussion instruments can drown out unless you have his audio turned up.
Which it should have been.
It should have been. They should have noticed that and adjusted it mid-performance. But that seems like that's going to be a thing that between both sides because we'll get to him in a second, but the Kid Rock one had the same issues too. The difference is that's on stage. This isn't a freaking outdoor arena where it goes through the air.
Right.
So, like, one's a little bit harder to adjust than the other.
Slightly, yes.
Now, obviously, this show comes with some controversy in the form of the FCC.
FCC.
Yeah, not SEC.
Damn it, Ronnie.
The college football's over. College football's over. Just means more to them, damn it.
Damn it.
But the FCC has come out and has said that if Bad Bunny was possibly cursing in Spanish on live television.
I mean, he could have been.
Now, none of that was in English. So he could have said whatever he wanted. And unless you spoke the language.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what he said.
Right. So, but this is the second show in 2 years that the Super Bowl has been in controversy for the halftime show.
Yes, that is correct.
Obviously, last year was Kendrick Lamar. Pretty much doing the whole calling Drake a PDF file.
Correct, sir.
And then you have this with him cursing. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Now, they also said that if someone from the FCC said if this was done in English, they would have literally cut the feed and fines would have been ridiculously heavy.
Yep. If it would have been in English, it would have been blacked out immediately.
Now, the question too is overall, because you had two sides of this. One, you had people that were like, "Oh, this is terrible. It's in Spanish. It's not this, and this." Like,
look, there are several people that got pissed off over Bad Bunny, and they're like, "This is a direct quote. This is America, and we speak English, not Puerto Rico, where they speak Spanish." And I straight up like screenshotted it and sent him like, Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. He is a U.S. citizen. Like, people's ignorance really showed this Super Bowl halftime show.
yeah. Now, I wonder, now just for me, if you came out and said that you have a bigger issue with Bad Bunny because he was being verbal before his performance about the administration and stuff like that, I'd be like, all right, you have a little bit of an argument, but it's America. He can say whatever he wants.
Correctamundo.
He could have performed an address, which he said he was going to do. There's questions about that I have that there's only two answers that it could possibly be.
And those are?
Either he was lying or the NFL said no.
Fair.
Like, that's the only two options he could have, because he flat out said in an interview that he would do the halftime show and address to support LGBT and queer artists. And he wasn't an address. So either logically, one or two things is true. Either the NFL told him no, or he was saying that for publicity.
Probably the publicity.
Obviously, but both would not be out of the question.
No.
And, I mean, it's a minute point, but it is something that was said, and you have to bring it up. Because, like, the other thing is, too, is, like, Bad Bunny has been very verbal about this administration when it came to Border Patrol and stuff like that. And how he refuses to perform in America while, let's not cut squares, while Donald Trump is still in office. Granted, then the NFL calls and he jumps at that to perform in San Francisco. I digress. Just saying. But let me ask you a question about this. And I'm going to put up a poll about this, and I'm curious. What if this was the other way and it had to do more with religion? Now, obviously, Bad Bunny's not talking about religion. No one's talking about religion. This is just something that I want to do. Like, it's a full-blown country singer. I'll throw in a name that I've heard a lot of people want to do the halftime show, and he's been in the news for his speak, but in more than one way. Jelly Roll.
Okay.
What if Jelly Roll, what if there was a mosque shooting, or just hypothetically, a mosque shooting, a church shooting, something like that, and Jelly Roll before the halftime show, leading up to the halftime show, was for the most part using publicity about God before, just to get to the halftime show. Would people still be outraged?
That's pretty much all they did. I mean, it was all country gospel fucking style music, and Kid Rock fucking preached a sermon for some damn reason.
But you know what? What's funny is Kid Rock is the last thing far from fucking country. He is a country artist now, but I remember when he was a fucking rapper.
A really terrible one.
Rapper with a song called Yodel in Her Valley. Yeah, go look that up, people. It's worse than Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, that's true. It is.
So I don't consider that. Like, let's just say it was the other way and Jelly Roll was doing it, who is, let's face it, probably when it comes to country, one of the biggest artists out there now. And leading up to it does what Kid Rock was doing. Would people, and it's on the Super Bowl, would people be outraged?
Not as much as they are. Like right now, a lot of the outrage is coming from the fact that he's denying getting caught lip syncing.
Right. I get that, but
And the fact that it happened at the Super Bowl, like, okay, first off, why the fuck you lip syncing a song that you wrote that made you famous, for fuck's sake?
oh, okay, yeah, all right. Kid Rock. So the Turning Point one, we're shifting over to now.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just want people to realize we're shifting to the Turning Point one.
Because my God, that was a god awful piece of fucking shit.
And then when he actually did sing, it wasn't even his song.
No, it was his verse that didn't need to be in the song. Like, I can't even call that a money grab.
No, that was everyone's like, oh, people have said, oh, well, if you wanted an alternative, it was a good alternative. I'd be like, and me and you have talked about this. If you could put together your own Super Bowl halftime show, what would you want to see? And not even music. Like, if you could say you want to do one thing for a 30-minute Super Bowl halftime show, and me and you have talked about this, why don't they bring back Sunday Night Heat for the Super Bowl? Super Bowl Heat.
Because it would make people tune out. And whenever people change the channel, what are the odds they're going to change it back?
I mean, granted, this was a huge thing in the 90s. When the Super Bowl halftime show was on a downswing, a very big downswing, you had...
Because they kept getting shitty fucking guests.
Yeah, well, when you're doing the Lion King, when you're doing Disney sing-alongs as the... when you're doing Disney sing-alongs as the halftime show...
You know what my halftime show is? My ideal halftime show runs about 3 minutes and 6 seconds, and it's just them playing the fucking DuckTales theme. Everybody's going to be up and cheering and fucking woo, and then the game gets back on and we can go home early.
But, like, we grew up with Halftime Heat, Death Bowl.
Yes, the celebrity death match.
Like, why? Now with YouTube, now with live streaming, why couldn't we see, and I'll just use an example right now because they have the all set up, why couldn't we see a performance center? A one match in the PC for WWE during a halftime show?
Again, I've already said.
Yeah, because they'll turn away.
That's right.
But, I mean, was the Turning Point show a good idea? It would have been better if you had better people, not three unknowns and Kid Rock.
Yeah.
At the same time, maybe don't lean into preaching either. I mean, both halftime shows preached. We can't deny that Bad Bunny didn't preach a little either. May not understood what he's saying, but he did preach. Hell, the guys that were the best at it were the ones that usually do fucking preach, and they didn't say a fucking word in Green Day.
Yeah, how weird is that?
Right!
Like, they had a prime opportunity to be like,
I'm sorry. If you told me going into it, Green Day was going to do the halftime show, I would have been like, okay, I'm just going to watch to see what he has to fucking say, what political statement he's going to make, because they're punk. Kind of what they do.
I mean, Green Day's always been a really political band, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, they're punk rock. That's literally what their job is.
You want a political halftime show? We have to bring a band out of retirement.
Rage Against the Machine?
Fuck no. Who's going to pay $1,000 a ticket? No, I'm talking about NoFX.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can tell you, they would play Now the Idiots Are Taking Over, Separation of Church and State, Idiot Son of an Asshole.
Can we get Tool? Just one song. Tool plays just one song and it's 30 minutes.
They just play Schism.
Yeah! Just one.
Go.
Welcome to the halftime show. They play one song, and that is the halftime show. People are like, oh, well, you'll be affected by this. So what if they brought back all these punk rock bands, these controversial bands? Someone goes, it's in LA next year, bring back NWA. I go, I would pay just to see how people fucking go lose their minds for that. They would lose their fucking shit if NWA did the halftime show in LA next year.
The TPUSA show is just absolutely fucking terrible.
Will we see, maybe not TP, Turning Point, will we see somebody else take a crack at it, though?
I'm sure.
And it really depends who's performing next year. We don't know yet, obviously, but is it another quote-unquote cash grab by the NFL? Because let's face it, that as much as no one wants to say it, and yes, cash grab to people might be a different term, but Bad Bunny is one of the most popular stars in the world.
Right now,
next to Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is more popular, but that's beside the point. You have shows going on in Puerto Rico. You're going to have a game in Puerto Rico, possibly. A game in Brazil. You're getting games in Paris and Germany again, in London. So, more people have now their eyes on the NFL because it's a person that they've known, that they're known for, like, that they know, like, their music. So now, hey, the NFL's going to be there. I might want to buy a ticket. So, it's a win-win. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens within the next year, because God forbid we're getting, it's going to be another one. There will be somebody else. My bigger question is does Jay-Z keep his contract after this year?
probably not.
No. Rock Nation probably loses it because of the whole Diddy and Epstein's. Final thoughts on the halftime shows.
Already given my thoughts on them. There's no need to summarize what I said over the last 5 minutes.
Okay, then moving on. Are you a fan of Ultron?
I was a fan of Ultron.
Well,
give it started.
Well, you know we're getting a new movie, right?
I do.
With the Cavalier, with Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that's.
So the good news is with the Voltron movie coming out, Hasbro has tied their wagon to the movie, and we are getting a brand new toy line to coincide with said movie.
So that's an interesting point right there. Because the fact that they're gonna to revive and reboot an 80s toy line that was a massive success, it shows me that they've got longevity in mind, not just for the toy brand, but for the movie brand itself.
Right. Yeah, so I mean that's a good point. They're thinking more franchise than they are right this second.
Right. Well, I mean, and also, if you think about it, like the let's jump in the Wayback Machine and go back to our childhood in the 80s. That's whenever they really like were pioneering creating a toy line and then a movie to go with it. And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of what we're going to see here is we're going to see the Voltron toys long before we see the Voltron trailer. The last time I really remember that happening was the Spawn movie.
So the Voltron movie is supposed to be coming out this year.
You'll have toys on the shelf 6 months before the movie hits theaters.
I bet you once you see the first trailer, once you see the first trailer, the toys will be out already.
Yeah, like I said,
it's gonna coincide with the trailer launching. So we should be getting a trailer soon too.
Yeah, like I said, man, it'll be 6 months of a heavy toy campaign before the movie comes out. And then once the movie comes out, the toy campaign's going to kick into overdrive.
Yeah.
Because they're hitting two really important markets with this one.
Yeah, the adults and the kids, they're getting both.
They're reviving something that now a dad, can be, that I can look at my son and be like, hey, sit down, I want to show you the show that I watched whenever I was your age. Yeah, it's a movie now. We're going to watch it.
Yeah, and the thing is too is what people don't know is there was a reboot of it as a TV show on Netflix.
Yeah, but it wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't. But there is a revived anime style show, and it's on Netflix. I think Johnny Youngbosch is the only person of notoriety that's in that Voltron show.
Black Ranger #2.
Yep, and if you guys don't know of Voltron, you know of Power Rangers. So get ready for that. Get ready for those new toy lines, because you know that's going to come out with a new toy line when they drop that new fucking season.
No. We can't compare those two.
Well, I'm just saying, you know they're going to be putting out new toys when they drop that new season, though.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying we can't compete with those. We can't compare those two because they're both Japanese properties. They're both based off of giant robots, and they both came out around the same time.
I mean, the closest thing you can get to comparing Power Rangers to anything is Ultraman or Kamen Rider.
Ultraman, definitely. Now there's definitely some Voltron in Power Rangers with the connecting droids to make the fucking super fucking
the Zords to the Megazord and
right instead of 5 wolves combining to make one giant fucking 5 dinosaurs.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, it's a giant lion assembling to make a giant lion, make another giant lion. It's studio contracts, so they'll make money. It will make money because those toys have always been cool.
They're wolves, you swine.
That's fair. But now here's my question. I wonder if they're going to use magnets this time around. Because remember when we were young, they were connecting. Like they had the ball and socket that connected. I wonder if you're going to get magnets that connect these together.
on some parts, but you're still going to have the ball and socket for articulation.
Oh, I meant like to make it to one big Zord.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like the shoulders and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, to connect them all and still have any type of stability in the thing, you're going to have the ball and socket armatures.
yeah,
That's just that's a have to.
yeah. But before we move on, let's jump into one of our, I wouldn't say sponsors, but one of our reads that we'll do, because when you're bored of entertainment, you need a boost to get power through your day. So the show and the movies and TV portion is sponsored by Ghost Energy Drinks. When you feel the difference with bold flavors, zero sugar, natural caffeine, Ghost delivers the energy and will tackle your biggest challenges. No jitter, just clean, sustained energy. Ghost packets with B vitamins to give you that extra edge. Fuel greatness, great other new flavors. But also, myself and Ryan drink the living fuck out of these things.
I really do. You know, they got 2 new flavors that just dropped.
Yeah, which ones?
So we've got a blue raspberry
Yep.
and a Welch's grape cran.
So I have had that cran, and it literally, you know what? I'll say that it's worth the money. I've not had the blue, but I should start bringing back what you drinking.
Yeah.
But also too, it's not just about energy with them. They also do stuff for pre-workouts, post-workouts, as well as protein shakes. Go check them out. Literally send them an email telling the Nerdport Network sent you. Maybe we'll get them, and hopefully we will hear from them soon.
That's right.
Yes.
Go.
But moving on. Speaking of getting a boost in sales and a boost in energy. In movie news, Iron Lung, an indie horror film done by YouTuber Markiplier.
Yes.
A $3 million budget movie that no one had any fucking hope for.
And that motherfucker's about to 12 times its money.
It is about to gross close to $40 million. It is about to cross over to $40 million by the end of this weekend.
That's fucking insane.
It's great. I mean, great for Markiplier.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a movie that he wrote, he directed, he did all of the stuff. $3 million budget, and he's grossing $40 million. And it's not even like it was a movie that, how to describe it, that was in worldwide. It was a straight indie film.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is just another one of those success stories to show you that independent artist passion can be better than big studio budget.
Speaking of big studio budget, because God forbid we have to go from fairy tales to fairy tale, Disney, you reap what you sow. Yes, I know the line is reap, but no, I stand by what I said. You reap what you sow, because the numbers have finally come in, and Snow White has officially lost $170 million.
How the hell do you lose that much?
Next to marketing, next to the controversy that was tied to this movie.
Was this the one with Peter Dinklage bitching about little people?
So there's two different things. One, a lot of people bitched about Renee's I was about to say Zellweger. No, Rachel Zegler being Snow White. If you don't know, she is Hispanic. She is most known for, besides this now, being Maria in West Side Story.
Right.
A lot of people didn't like the fact that you're going to have someone called Snow White and it's going to be Hispanic. Those are the MAGA people, beside the point. That I didn't.
Hold on. I knew a girl named Snow White. This is
Yeah.
no joke. Really did. Her name was Snow White, and she was a fucking crackhead.
Okay then. Um, I didn't like the fact that she was there because she didn't fit the look. You got to judge everything on how they are, and the screenshots and stuff. It looked bad. It looked bad from the start. That she looked like a failed version of Lord Farquaad.
She looked like Snow White on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like,
But
Garden, right? Maybe looked like a fucking retard.
But this was also like, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna stand by it. You have a movie. Here's the problem with these remakes. When you go back and actually dissect what these movies are, you can't make these movies nowadays because they're not able to be done. Because let's face it, in a bubble, Snow White is a vanity movie.
Yeah.
So the whole point is when she asks the mirror who the fairest of them all is, it's supposed to be because the Snow White is better looking. Forget age, different time frame, because they live less, they live shorter lives then. That look better than the evil queen. So riddle me this: how is the evil queen gonna look better than Snow White in a movie about vanity?
Good casting.
Right, but you casted Gal Gadot, who is 1,000 times better looking than Rachel Ziegler.
Right.
So right there, you lose points on that because there's what's the argument? Then there's the Peter Dinklage outrage, where it started with Peter Dinklage getting calls from Disney to be one of the Seven Dwarfs. And the story is that he looked at them, turned it down, and said that it was an embarrassment. That they shouldn't be getting just little people roles. They should be getting roles that Brad Pitt can go out for.
That's true.
I'll give you two people that have been outlandish about this. Hornswoggle from WWE and Brad Williams.
Who?
And Brad Williams, the comedian.
Oh, Brad Williams, yeah.
Both of them have said the exact same thing. You may be bitching, but that check from Elf cashes every year, doesn't it? That Game of Thrones check cashes every year, doesn't it?
Right.
They lost out on money, and they lost out on Disney money.
Big Disney money.
And they have every right to be pissed off. And then that's where they came out with the whole, it wasn't supposed to be 7 dwarves, it was 7 mystical people.
That all just happened to be like 3.5 feet tall.
Yeah, it wasn't even that. And then that got backlash. And then they CGI dwarfs.
Oh, sure.
And whatever. And this movie was failed. This dude was doomed to fail from the start.
Well, yeah, it immediately became like 9 different memes. For fuck's sake, they AI'd her with retard voice and Arnold Schwarzenegger voice.
But the one thing that I think everyone agreed on was if that, and it shows now with the money with the financial statement, people voted with their wallet on this movie. They didn't go to the theater. They stayed home. They did not bother because it was competing against nothing.
Right. It should have been a smash hit.
Yeah, and it lost $170 million.
That's insane.
I mean, to the point where now this was such a flop that they've canceled a lot of live action up and coming movies.
Yeah, they've been pulling the plug on quite a few.
So Disney kind of saving their ass, but at the same time, like, actually have come out and said they might be going back to hand-drawn movies again.
They need to.
You need to come up, like, I've said it before. I told you when we had the conversation back at the old Betty window when The Little Mermaid came out.
Yeah.
That I had no problem with a new Little Mermaid movie. But they should have called it something different. Because there's more in the universe that they could have used, and it could have been a different version, it could have been a different moneymaker, and it didn't have to be, like everyone else says, a black Ariel. Obviously, that's what they're known for, and I get that. It's not that's not the reason, but I'm saying there was already the Ivory Coast. You could have done so many different stories, and in retrospect, when you take a step back and look at what the base of The Little Mermaid is, it's a girl giving up her voice for a guy.
I mean, if you go all the way back to the Grimms.
Yeah. So, like, that doesn't look right when you do that way, but, like, beside the point on that, you could have easily done something different and went into that whole universe and explored that universe. And still called it The Little Mermaid.
Well, yeah, but it was a reboot.
Right. Like they did with Beauty and the Beast. It wasn't a shot. It was and they did it with Lilo and Stitch. It was a shot-for-shot remake, but they expanded the world. Right. Now, Lilo and Stitch had different endings, but Beauty and the Beast didn't. But beside the point, they kind of did it as a shot-for-shot remake, but expanded the world that they were living in.
How did we get from them losing $170 million to The Little Mermaid?
Well, I'm just saying because there was other things. Like, it's not... This is the big thing that did happen. There were other things that led to this.
Well, the important thing has nothing to do with them remaking The Little Mermaid as a fucking reboot but making her black.
No.
It's such a shitty job that they lost $170 million fucking dollars.
That's what I mean. It's just that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Well, no, the straw that broke the camel's back is that they made a shitty fucking movie and then promoted it like a shitty fucking movie.
That is very true, too. But speaking of things that have been rebooted that are not shitty, there was not a lot of TV news. But apparently the list of TV shows that have been renewed have come out.
Drop it.
So we have an official date for the final episode of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Would be May 21st. The last season has been renewed for The Boys on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
We are getting a 39th season of The Amazing Race.
Not surprised.
probably one of my favorite newer shows because it is the modern day Twilight Zone. Black Mirror gets a season 8. The Lincoln Lawyer gets season 5. NCIS, Survivor, they're all keeping going. They all got renewed. Is anyone surprised that Survivor, after 50-something years, gets renewed again? Or not 50 years, sorry, 50 seasons? We got Hulu and Disney gets a Handmaid's Tale spinoff called The Testament. I hope you like Stranger Things. Because we're getting an animated one. Tales from 85.
That's old news.
That's old news, but it has been official that is now going to be taking place in between seasons 2 and 3.
Again, that's old news.
But
that's been official.
but it's
that news right there has been official since the final episode dropped on New Year's Day.
okay. Well, we're still getting the Upside Down. It's not done hitting people. Now it's just in cartoon form. Seth Meyers got renewed by NBC. I already said about Colbert. Jon Stewart remains on The Daily Show. And that's about it.
So just a bunch of renewals.
Pretty much. Nothing a big concept. But, you know what? I think it's time to get into the sports topics because, God forbid, I think people want to make some money, but until we can make some money, we got to remember that our sponsor for the show is Caesar Sportsbooks. Ready to take your sports entertainment to the next level? Download the Caesar Sportsbook. Use the referral code down below. Get $50 in bonus bets back. It also helps us out. Caesar Sportsbook offers unbeatable odds, exciting promotions, chances to earn rewards for shows, hotels, things along that line between football, baseball, basketball, and NASCAR. Feel thrills like never before. Users get a risk-free bet, so why wait? Gamble responsibly. Join the empire at Caesar Sportsbook. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. If it is not 1-800-GAMBLER in your town, please go look that up. Because I know there's multiple. Out where I am, it is 1-800-GAMBLER. I know New York is different. I think out by you is different too.
We have 1-800-GAMBLER, but we also have 1-800-BETS-OFF.
There you go. So make sure if it's not 1-800-GAMBLER, check online, check your local areas. Make sure if you have a problem, get help. Bet with your head, not over it.
That's right.
Yep. And boy, we are definitely starting with some controversy in the Olympics. Shocking, right?
Sure.
A Ukrainian sledder for a skeleton has withdrawn from the skeleton today because the Olympics have banned his helmet tributing to the war in Ukraine and the deaths that have happened in the war in Ukraine.
That seems fair.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you think about it. It was something that he did in practice, the practice rounds. The Olympics saw this and said no. And that's not a surprise. The Olympics don't want, as much as everyone's like, oh, well, the Olympics is a political standpoint. It's not. It should have nothing to do with, as much as it has everything to do with the political stuff around the games, it should have nothing, it should have everything to be about the athletes and not the political climate going on outside the games.
Agreed.
So good on the Olympics for putting their foot down, but at the same time, you couldn't just. Was it that big of a hill to die on that you withdrew from the only event that you were there for? Were you really there for the right reasons? On the Olympics? Like, it's the Olympic stage. Were you really there for the right reasons?
And they had to earn their way there.
Right. So if you're going to withdraw because they won't let you wear a helmet that is criticizing a war, why are you there?
You're not supposed to use the Olympics for political statements.
Right. I know this. You know this. You get what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's stupid. But we also talked about it. We had the Super Bowl. And boy, was this game a blowout? As much as everyone says it was close, it was a blowout.
Slightly.
Very defensive game, but at the same time, it was an embarrassment. Drake May was outplayed, was outmatched. Seattle had a better team, and Seattle took advantage of it.
Yep, congratulations, Seattle.
Yep. Now we move to the next year, and God forbid, it's embarrassing because people have already put money on it.
Yeah, those are people with betting problems.
Yes. And people have already put money on the NFL draft. We're still 2 months away from the NFL draft, and the money has been flowing already. These are the type of people that need help.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going into it because, God forbid, my team won't be in it.
Yeah, my other
I'll just say this. The Jets this year are dead last to win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I have fun things. Thank God for college.
Yeah, right.
But you know what we do have coming up? One of the greatest races of all time this Sunday. 200 laps of controlled disaster. They're making a left turn. Because God forbid if you make a right, you will crash into a wall. It is the Daytona 500. Are you going to watch it? Rye, are you going to watch Daytona?
No, I am not a big NASCAR fan.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea, man.
That's fair. Daytona to me is background noise to me. I will always have the NASCAR on in the background because when it's on, it's a lot of fun. It's always nice to hear.
I mean, I don't mind watching it. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, this race is coming up. I'm going to get ready to sit here all day and watch the fucking tailgate, and I'm going to watch them fucking make left turns and get hammered.
No, Daytona is the one that I will sit and watch the pomp and circumstance and all that. Like I'll watch I'll watch all the fucking sideshow stuff because it's Daytona. Usually they go all out with it.
True, it is Daytona.
Other than that, it's just literally on mute in the background on one of my 6 TVs. I'm not even exaggerating about that.
Oh, I know.
But there should be. It's gonna be an interesting race this year because it always is. It's Daytona. I think it's hilarious that it's the day after Valentine's Day.
Oh, that is funny.
Hey, baby, let's go to White Castle and for Valentine's Day. Then we can get home and stay hammered for NASCAR.
Oh.
Listen, NASCAR is the easiest sport to follow. Why? Because, like you said, they only make left turns. It's the easiest. It's the easiest sport to follow drunk.
Absolutely.
I will say this. I think so. Right now, there's two people that I think have a chance of winning this year, and it's one guy that just literally won the first duel, and that would be Joey Logano, who's going off at like 16-1. But the difference too is I think there's some manifest destiny. I don't know who's running with this team right now, but we are in the 25th anniversary of Dale Sr.'s death.
It's hard to believe it's been that long.
Yep. The thing that's weird about this one is that the color of Dale Sr.'s of Dale Jr.'s car this year, that I don't know who's running the 8.
Yeah.
But it's in the good wrench black. It's in the Intimidator black. Why do I have a feeling like that whoever's running that car this year is going to win? I know it's a weird thing to say, but it's like I said, it's 25th. It's the 25th anniversary of Dale Sr.'s death.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be cool to see the black Goodrich car back out there.
Yeah, and it's not, but it's, to clarify, it's not the Goodrich car because it's not the sponsor. It's still,
No.
but it's the color. It's that black and gold, like.
It's the color palette that the Intimidator used. That flat black for the base of the car.
Yep.
And but yeah, I mean, it was always the Goodrich car.
So yeah, I mean that's gonna be insane to think of that we're getting that. Now, would have been cool to see Dale be driving it, but he can't.
Right.
I would have put money on Dale in a heartbeat if you told me Junior was racing in that car. But because of a crash that he had, he physically can't. He retired.
Right. He couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. So I can totally see that being a thing. But it's gonna come down to it's Daytona. So enjoy it, have fun. If you have the money, put some down. But just enjoy it. Enjoy the race.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah. But and this is where people are going to start getting really bad with betting. Oh God. Start hearing center field, baby. Pitchers and catchers have officially reported.
That's right. It's that time.
We are about a month and a half away from opening day.
That's good news.
And we will dive into baseball when we start seeing more about when the rosters are supposed to be lining up and more in that. We'll have our breakdowns of, like we normally do every year, we'll have our breakdowns of the divisions and stuff like that.
Right, we've got to get a little more information. We can talk about who's signing, who's trade, who's letting their shit expire.
Yep. I will say this: if you're gonna look at teams that I already know about that without injuries right now, Detroit just signed Justin Verlander as their fifth starter.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Detroit, pitching wise, is a heavy favorite to win the Central, the AL Central. Their pitching rotation is disgusting.
Yeah.
But again, we're getting to a point where, do we really know this? Because God forbid, it's optimism. Baseball's back. Time to let everybody think that you know what the fuck we're talking about. Because God damn it, when we don't know really what we can do, because there's 162 games and, well, there's just optimism. But with that being said, we will take a short 3-minute break. Play song of the week. And when we get back, we will dive into our anchor topic about a certain set of files and wrestling news to close out the show. So enjoy the song of the week. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Listen. Los soles por fin se vieron. Everything is under the sun now. Justicia para ellos. The stadium is packed. The bass is loud. Un conejo bailando para distraer al crowd. They use the icons to keep us blind. Mientras los nombres salen sin mirar atrás. Now the past is falling down. El teatro se rompe, se acaba la función. Salven a los niños. Save them now. Castiguen al culpable. No more mercy. Let the house fall. Que se caiga. La verdad está aquí. Touchdowns and trophies, a clever game. Pantallas brillantes para ocultar el name. The files are heavy, they burn through the floor. No queremos fiestas, queremos mucho más. Se acabó. The documents reveal the mess they made. Su cortina de humo pronto se va a borrar. Salven a los niños. Save them now. Castiguen al culpable. No more mercy. Let the house fall. Que se caiga. La verdad está aquí. Look at me in my eyes, Commissioner. Como duermes con tanto pecado, you hide the monsters behind the show. Mientras el pueblo grita por lo que es real. Salven a los niños. Save them now. Castiguen al culpable. No more mercy. Let the house fall. Que se caiga. La verdad está aquí. Tu tiempo se acabó. Pienso andar con luz. Donde la luz. La claridad por la ventana.
And we are back. Oh, thank you, Ryan, for that song of the week.
Yep.
Oh, we'll be posting that. I'll post that on the Spotify too.
Right. Go to Spotify and make sure that you download all your favorite Nerdport Records AI Division songs.
Yes. But with that being said, let's dive into our anchor topic of the week. Oh, the files that have been all over everyone's lips. The Epstein files.
All right, so before we dive into this, let me just preface this with saying there's been a lot of information that's been dumped over 3 million pages so far. And there have been a lot of names that have been put out there and a lot of names that have been redacted. And at this point, we cannot just say that everybody that shows up on the Epstein list knew about what he was doing and was a part of it, because there's a lot of people that didn't.
And as well as there's also other names that are on this that you have no idea if they're legit because they could be AI. There's photos that are possibly AI with people that are artists right now that have no idea.
Right.
So, where do we want to start?
Well, that's a good question. There's a lot to dive into.
I mean, do we want to just start with the ones that have been out there from the very beginning that not many people are surprised about? Or not,
actually,
sorry, you know what? Not surprised about, but that are not like, holy fuck, he's on this list?
I was about to say more so the ones that we are surprised about, like Epstein having business ties to Life Touch, and they travel across the country taking pictures of children.
Yeah.
Epstein being tied into Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, yeah, that one I didn't know. I mean, just I look at like the what is it? The New York Giants owner, not the Maras, the Tishes. Wasn't expecting him to be on this list.
No.
There's emails for that. They don't explain what he was asking for. It was right after his divorce. And like we're also talking about people that are like when Ryan said this, we don't mean like people like what was her name? Ashley Mazzaro. Yes, she is on the list, but she has nothing to do with this.
No, she's on the list because as a teenager, she worked at Mar-a-Lago.
Yep,
That's it.
That's it. Someone like Chris Tucker being on this list. That's kind of surprising.
I'm not surprised at anybody that shows up on the list. What I'm going to be surprised about is whenever they start tying people to crimes. When they start tying people to crimes, that's when it's going to be interesting.
Right. So, I mean, is there anyone that, like, is there any actor that you, or actress, like, celebrity that you've seen that that you saw this and goes, okay, what the hell?
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, Jim Carrey, it's not, that's a surprise. I have to say that I was surprised to see someone like, oh god, I was surprised to see Cameron Diaz on this.
True.
Like Bruce Willis, not really as surprised. George Lucas, I'm kind of surprised to see on this. but then obviously you get like the ones that have been out for years, the Bill Clinton, the Trumps, the Clintons.
Clinton,
What?
the Clintons show up a lot.
Yeah. The Obamas apparently. Michael Jackson, that's not a surprise. Like, people like that, that was not a surprise. Chris Rock is kind of surprised that he was on this list. Courtney Love being on this list is kind of surprising.
A little bit.
It just but the big question that everyone's gonna have is what's gonna be done.
Now, yeah, that's the big question. I do believe that there was some member of government that came out today and said that if we prosecute everybody that's in the Epstein list, it would cause a governmental shutdown. Like, it would collapse our government.
I think the first thing you have to do is go after people that have photographic that yes, they're in the files, but I think there would need to be photographic evidence that they were even tied to him.
Right.
Go after them first and then worry about people that are in the list. Get the slam dunks out of the way.
Well, I did see that they recently unearthed an affidavit from Donald Trump in like 2009
Yeah.
where he was attempting to turn in Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell to like the NYPD.
And now she's trying to work her plugs to say that she'll testify on behalf of Donald Trump if he pardoned her.
I haven't heard that.
Yes. I don't buy that one frickin' bit. She's gonna say whatever she can to get out of jail.
Pretty much.
So,
I think what's pissing people off the most about the Epstein files is the amount of redactions.
oh yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, like, and what's funny is like, everyone points at Donald Trump. Like, they're the first people that they point at was Donald Trump. Donald Trump never said, he never shied away from saying that he wasn't friendly with Epstein.
Right.
Like, he made it perfectly clear, like, yeah, I knew the guy. Like, he flat out was he was a business partner of him. But, like, if you've noticed, though, after everything's been said, how quiet have people like the Obamas, the Bill Gates, the Hillary Clintons have been quiet.
Well, Bill Gates did come out and deny the claims from the Epstein files about him.
Okay.
The Clintons have agreed to testify before Congress.
It's going to come to that.
It already has, because they were going to swear out federal warrants for him. But they did say that, but they want it to be televised.
Interesting.
So my question is, do the Clintons bring down the House of Cards?
That's a great question.
Because if they want it televised, there's a reason.
Oh, they want everything. They want the walls to come tumbling down. They exactly want that. Now listen.
The way I feel about it is if your name shows up in the Epstein files and you hurt a kid, you go to fucking prison. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. That's not a red or blue thing. That's just you don't fuck with kids.
That's not a red thing or a blue thing. That's you're a sick motherfucker and you deserve to be under the prison.
Yeah.
Actually, no. You don't deserve to be under the prison. You deserve to be put in general population.
Thought you were gonna say something else.
Nope. Gen Pop.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. You don't fuck with kids. That's been a thing on this show since the beginning that we've had in this. Anytime we've talked about stuff that's been going on in the news, you don't fuck with the kids.
Correct.
It's been very simple with that. No, that's been everyone that's worked on this show or that has been part of this has had the same montage. The same, we've all agreed on the same shit.
Correct.
But no, it's like, listen, hopefully we'll be seeing some. I mean, it got so bad, we were seeing. There was a Super Bowl commercial.
Didn't see that one.
I gotta see if I can find it. I'm gonna send it to you. Apparently, there was a Super Bowl commercial about the survivors of the Epstein files.
I heard about it. Didn't see it though.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it up. But something has to be done, and is it going to be the Clintons putting this on television and tearing down the house?
It's a real possibility.
So then we'll go from there. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, what else can be said? I mean, there's nothing else that can really be done. That it's all for the most part speculation because we don't have what they were doing there, what they've done. All we know is that if your name was in this, you've had some part and you're not coming out and saying anything about it.
Well, yeah, because it's a career killer.
Right. So the thing is we both know it. Until we get clear understanding, there's only, for the most part, speculation of what it is.
Correct.
Now, if you were on the island, then there's different issues. Then you have different speculation. Everyone has something different. Like, I'm just going to say one that I saw that I didn't believe because there was a photo of Post Malone with Epstein. I didn't believe that one bit. It looked AI as fuck.
Probably was.
Probably was. But, and that's the thing. Like, are we seeing people that are doing AI stuff like that it has to be careful on what we're seeing nowadays when it comes to these photos.
Yeah.
But, I mean, let's face it. The system treats the truth like a PR crisis, and it's all that can be cited inside a vacuum, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. but there's nothing we can do about it till we get more information.
That's it.
But I think that's really it for the anchor topic. I think, do we want to move on to wrestling and then close this shop? Close it up? Yeah.
Let's hit Wrestling Town and pull her into the station.
Well, speaking of people that have been living life inside a vacuum, Joey Ryan has released his first episode out of 20 of his Redemption series.
I did hear about this.
Yes, it is a 20-week series, 20 episodes. He's going to release one every week about how he was canceled and is finding a road to recovery to get himself back into just normal society. Now, I've already seen people saying, I don't want to hear a fucking word he has to say. Okay. If you don't want to hear something, then this is not for you.
Yes, that is correct.
This was never going to be for you. Myself and Ryan have, I'm not trying to speak for you, Ryan, but we both have seen this and went, this is interesting. What is he going to say? Because when he got canceled, it was so abrupt.
Yes.
And I think what didn't help was the fact that it wasn't him getting canceled that was the problem. It was these fucking people going after him and him not letting him make a living. Like, okay, you want him out of wrestling, that's fine. But then when they were trying to get him fired from his actual 9-to-5 job...
Yeah, that was too far.
So, I'm wondering what this does. I'm wondering what he has to say. Because he could also be shining light on stuff that we know nothing about. He's opening himself up to a whole bunch of criticism, but at the same time, he's opening himself up to a path to get, I wouldn't say get back into wrestling, but get back into something.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. You're gonna watch? I take it you're gonna watch it.
Oh, absolutely. Look, before his decisions crumbled his career, I was quite the Joey Ryan fan.
Yeah, so was I. I mean, one of my biggest videos on my channel is a Joey Ryan move.
Of course it is.
But, trust me, in the wrestling, everyone's like, oh, well, you have to delete these. Bullshit. I ain't getting rid of history just because someone makes a fucking mistake. I'll change the names. I'll change the shit. I'll change the titles. But I'm never gonna get rid of... I have people that have done some fucked up shit that are in matches on my YouTube. Their names are not there. But I'm not getting rid of stuff because here's the problem. The matches might have been good, but if they're gone, then how are you ever going to go back and rewatch history?
Right.
And also, you're talking about shitty indie matches that, if you're really seeking them out, you'll find them, but... not everyone wants to get Bob Hollied.
All right.
Speaking of, I can't even use the Bob Holly joke here, because God forbid it's AEW.
Okay.
we had a title change last night on AEW, and Tommaso Ciampa drops the TNT title to Kyle Fletcher. Ciampa won that title during the week of the Royal Rumble.
Correct.
He had the title for 12 days, roughly. And dropped the title to Kyle Fletcher. Now, don't get me wrong. Love the fact that Kyle Fletcher is now the TNT champion. They gave it right back to him. Cool. Well,
What was the point?
What was the point of taking it off of him? Or what was the point of taking it off of Briscoe? You could have easily had Briscoe drop the title to Kyle Fletcher before.
Yeah. I mean,
now,
that would have been the logical booking.
Yeah. So, and guess what? Now it's been now they're going to do a ladder match in Sydney, Australia between Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher. So, what was the point of giving it to Ciampa?
Oh.
That makes as much sense as them as Warner Brothers pulling Brody King.
No, we've already talked about that. They pull Brody King because they're not going to lose fucking money in sponsorship because of his stupid fucking political statement.
Well, now apparently WB has come out and have completely denied that they're the reason why he wasn't on television. So now it's a bunch of he said, she said stuff going on.
Who knows? Look, if they pulled him because of the fuck ice chance, that makes sense. They're going to lose sponsorship. They're going to lose money. That's not his job.
No.
At the same time, Brody King, you're a fucking pro wrestler, dude. You're a goddamn fall down man. Keep your political opinions to your fucking self because nobody cares.
Now, can I ask you one question? Now, this has everything to do with what's going on. So this happened. This was a tweet that someone put out that I kind of want your opinion being a wrestler. You know how Brody King has the Abolish Ice shirts?
Yes.
So someone wore this to the show yesterday.
Okay.
Security guard stopped him and told him he had to turn it inside. He had to flip it inside out.
Okay.
Now, he put these shirts out. Obviously, Brody King made money off of this. What is your opinion on the fact that now they're also doing this with merch? I think it's great. But I want your side because you're part of that side of it.
He's pandering to a political audience in order to further his career. He's trying to play a big social justice warrior, and it's all bullshit. He's doing it for his own selfish reasons.
Okay. Like, I think, God bless the security guard for telling this fan that, listen, that's not going to fly. You have to turn the shirt inside out.
You know, and here's the thing, because he's all like, "Oh, fuck ice, abolish ice. They're kidnapping my friends." Well, most of your friends that are immigrants that are here are wrestlers that are here on a fucking work visa, and that's why they haven't been bothered.
Yeah.
And you know what? Brody King is a prime example of, and actually, you know what? I'm going to use somebody that the liberal side loves to quote. Liberals love to quote Malcolm X, correct?
Yep.
Well, if you listen to Malcolm X, he'll tell you the most dangerous thing in the world is the liberal white person. And Brody King is a shining example of why.
Yeah, like, listen, it's a business in every form of reality. Wrestling is a business. If your character is trying to get under the skin, like Muhammad Hassan, that type of thing, and you're trying to pull the foreigner getting beat by the American, that's storytelling. This is bad for business, period, because it's not just storytelling, it's
committing federal crimes.
yeah. Like, now you're literally causing fans to chant something that, if it ever got out of hand, who's at fault then?
I mean, they'd go after Brody King for inciting a riot.
That's what I mean. Like, would it be Warner Brothers for airing it? Would it be Brody King for reciting it? Would it be AEW for allowing this to happen? Because it started because on AEW.
All of the above.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if it got out of control, like, it's funny because everyone's like, "Oh, MJF does this stuff." I go, MJF is the perfect heel
Yes.
because you pay to watch him get the shit knocked out of him. He promotes that guttural instinct that he's the modern day Ric Flair.
That's
Not
fair.
as a quote unquote wrestler. I'm saying as, hey, he talks people into seats. Ric Flair, as much as everyone says he's a great wrestler, he's a one-trick pony. What was Ric Flair known for?
Talking.
My point exactly. Rick was not oh my God, he's a 5-star wrestler. He's a guy that would wrestle circles around people. No. He was a C+ wrestler. But he was an A+ talker.
That's fair.
He didn't need to be a A+ wrestler because he gave you an emotion that talked you into that seat because you wanted to watch him get his ass beat.
Right.
And that's where Rick is, let's face it, Rick is one of the greatest wrestlers ever. Dusty was the same thing. Dusty was a great babyface to play off of Rick's heel in the NWA. It was the perfect thing. Rick could talk you to seats. Dusty can keep you entertained. And when they wrestled, they were good enough that they made magic. Like, you look at the Miz in the 2000s. Miz and Cena. Miz did not have to be the best wrestler in the world, but he talked people into caring.
Okay.
But then you put him with Cena, where Cena can literally, if he needed to, wrestle with his eyes closed.
You're losing me here.
Meaning, you can be a good wrestler and not have to incite a fucking riot. Brody King is neither one of those. That's what I'm getting at. He's not the best for business. You have guys on this business that are better champions that can carry this company for further fucking time, and you don't need fucking political bullshit to get behind it.
Correct.
But kind of the last thing we'll talk about for wrestling is a retirement match. Kind of. GCW. Las Vegas. WrestleMania weekend. Joey Janela's spring break. The Sandman is having his retirement match.
Against Tommy Dreamer. That's my bet.
No. The match has already been announced.
Who is it?
Himself. Sandman's retirement match is against the Invisible Man.
I'm out.
Yep.
That's so fucking retarded. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. Yeah. Yeah.
That idea is so fucking stupid. I don't even want to give it any of our fucking airtime. That is the dumbest goddamn shit ever. Way to shit all over your own fucking legacy, hack.
I would have loved it to be Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, well, WCW named him right in Hardcore Hack because after this match, he will be a fucking hack.
And GCW is already sold out.
Yeah, well, looks like GCW is going to be in some trouble because GCW just got called out. Well, their owner did.
Yep, Brett Lauderdale got called out. If we're both thinking of the same one, Bazilla?
Yep.
Why don't you explain?
No, you go ahead.
So, I've seen little bits and pieces of it. I know he straight up called out Brett Lauderdale.
For being a creep.
I could have told you that from his days in CZW. It's not a surprise. He's a freaking... Brett Lauderdale is... Oh, how to describe Brett Lauderdale?
A predator?
He's up there. I mean, it's not... So just to save our hides, allegedly. But he's not... I've talked to him a couple times. He's not the greatest person. Like, he's not the best person in the world to talk to. He never used to run GCW. It used to be Danny DeMonto, and then Brett bought it from him. But he's been trying to make this company what CZW used to be.
Right.
But while doing that, he has done some questionable things. And someone's finally come out with some notoriety that doesn't need his bookings and has finally put the feet to the fire. I think there's going to be more that comes out of this.
Yeah.
And it's definitely going to be something that we're going to have to pay attention to.
It's going to come down to him either having to sell the company or shut the company.
GCW, I could think of a couple people that would buy that company in a heartbeat. Because there is notoriety in that company to where they could make a decent amount of money, because, I mean, they're literally what CZW used to be. Like, they're at that popularity. But I also think that it also depends on who runs it. Because, I mean, shit, you got people like Joey Janela that could get it, and that could pick it up, and they're on a boat, they're doing a fucking cruise right now. So, it's definitely something we're going to have to keep an eye on, right?
Oh, yeah.
But, with that being said, is there any final words you would like to... is there any final words, final thoughts?
No.
Nope. All right, well then, from Soda Wars to Secret Files, from Fairy Tale Losses to Spring Training Optimism, that is our show, and if you like what you heard, please follow us on all social media accounts under the Nerdport Network. Follow us individually on Twitter at FNRonnie.
Steel.
And follow us on all other social media networks. And if you like what you heard, please tell your friends. But if you didn't,
Get fucked and stay fucked, cunt.
tell your enemies. But until then, just remember, spring training optimism is always a good thing, but you never can have nice things. So good night.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Nope. Good night.